worked on the next Mortal Kombat, the next generation Mortal Kombat game for quite a while, several months, 8 months before we even were proposed with the idea of doing the DC Universe kind of crossover. We knew that we wanted to kind of have more of a dark, less saturated colors, a little more gritty kind of presentation of the game. Once we got into the DC universe, certain things of the fatalities and certain technology didn't have to be done with fatalities because we weren't going to be going as far in terms of with the violence and decapitations and all that stuff like that. So it did affect some of the technology. I've always wanted to cross Mortal Kombat over since about Mortal Kombat 4 or something like that. I'm a big fan of all of the other fighting games, Street Fighter, Tekken, and whatnot. And I always thought, wouldn't it be cool to have Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat versus Tekken? We always kind of ran into some kind of roadblock and couldn't do it. So kind of in the end, the whole idea of the whole magic of having Batman and Sub-Zero on the screen at the same time doing their moves against each other kind of prevailed over everything else. We don't want to lose the kind of spirit of what Mortal Kombat is. Very brutal, very intense. Mortal Kombat versus DC, it's not just a DC game. So we want the spirit of Mortal Kombat and the spirit of DC. I think whether we call them fatalities or not, I guess is the question. That maybe they're just called finishing moves or something. But in terms of some big event that you can do at the end of a fight to finish your opponent, I think that's a high probability. I don't think we ever said, okay, now can we rip Batman's head off? We didn't even bother, asking that. And with this game, we're probably going to have about 20 characters, and I think that, because every one of the characters, we're not introducing any new characters. Every single one is a known DC character, a known Mortal Kombat character, because they're so kind of iconic. The last game we had weapons. The last game we had, this. We're not going to do any of that stuff. So we're probably not going to have weapons in this game. We're not going to have changing fighting styles and whatnot. It's probably just going to be the new features that we've introduced with the fighting modes, where it's you hit somebody over a building, they're falling down. As they're falling, you get to fight while you're falling down. That's kind of like a new fighting mechanic. You land and you go back to normal fighting. I grab you, pull you in, and then the camera zooms in, and it's like a kind of like a boxing perspective. It's a whole new boxing mechanic and boxing mode. Boom, I knock you out of it, and then we go back into the normal fighting. So you're going to be kind of going in and out of these different fighting modes as you play the game. We're going to, maneuver around people. We have, our backgrounds have, areas that you can knock people off. So we want people to be able to maneuver. Mortal Kombat is kind of based on magic. There's supernatural, the sorcerers. There's the nether realm and all that stuff. And Superman, his two weaknesses are kryptonite and magic. So when you kind of merge the two realms, he kind of gets a little weaker. The other characters get stronger, and it becomes more of an even balanced playfield. The game is going to come out the fall of 2008, probably around November, and it's going to come out for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3.